Hey guys, and welcome back to Rambling. It is another Percy Jackson Friday. It is another sorting video. Today we are sorting the characters from Adventure Time. So a couple things with sorting Adventure Time. I do have a lot of characters to get through, so I'm not going to show the cards, and that also means they are going to be in groups, and they're not going to get infinitive answers. And when I mean Adventure Time, I'm strictly going off the original show, and partly the spin-offs, not Fiona and Cake. I know Fiona and Cake originally did come from Adventure Time, but they got their own show, and that's a different sorting for a different time. Next month, come back. So, yeah, if I mispronounce any of these characters' names, I apologize in advance for that. And also, one more thing. There is a certain character that I will be sorting twice, similar to how I sorted Bruce Banner and the Hulk as different characters in my Marvel sorting video. It's going to be a similar vein of thought for one of these characters. You probably already know which one I'm talking about, but we'll get to him here in a minute. So enough rambling, enough stalling. So come along, grab your friends, because we're going off to distant lands. We're going to Camp Half-Blood. It's Adventure Time. I'm so sorry that was corny. I had to squeeze that in there somewhere. But anyways, let's start with our first character, Finn the Human. So, of course, with Finn, he's one of our main characters, so he's gonna have the most character arc, and because of that I have two places where I like to put him. Because in the beginning and probably mostly through Adventure Time, he is very childish and is technically a kid in the beginning of the show. He's 12. That's still a kid. I know he becomes a teenager later on and everything else, but that's besides the point. But he acts like very childish and stuff like that. And the other place I'm thinking is Hephaestus, because of like the loyalty, the heroism, blah 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 blah. Like, he loves his friends, he loves Jake. Do you see where I'm getting at here? That's I can explain. So either, to me, especially where we are in the series, either Cabin 9 Hephaestus because of the loyalty, all that stuff, or Cabin 18 Hebe because he's like the childish nature, youth, stuff like that. Personally, I think I'm leaning more towards Hephaestus, but you guys tell me in the comments below what you think. Okay, next up is Jake the dog. And for Jake, I actually have three places I want to put him. Falling back with Finn Hephaestus because of the loyalty, because he very much loves and cares about Finn and like his friends, his family, that sort of thing. And then two other places. Apollo because like his musicality. If memory serves me, he does do some storytelling here and there. Like, that's still part, like the arts and everything else. And then finally, Dionysus because, you know, Jake can be crazy. Jake can be full of madness. Every time I talk about Dionysus, I gotta slip in madness somewhere. Sorry, guys. So I think either of those places could work for him, per se. So either Cabin 7 Apollo for the musicality and like the storytelling and stuff like that, Cabin 9 Hephaestus because of like the loyalty, same with Finn, cares about his friends, his family and stuff like that, or Cabin 12 Dionysus because like all the craziness and madness stuff that he does, like, per se. But I feel like that's more of a lesson like for him to teach Finn, so I think I'm leaning more towards these two. But I'm still gonna hold up all three cards. I'm still gonna hold up the mess of the cards. The mess. This is a mess. It's always a mess when this happens. I don't know. Again, tell me in the comments below where you think he should go. Our first two heroes, it's very crazy and weird. Okay, so time for our very first group. Finally. Okay, so we have Princess Bubblegum. We have Simon Petrikov. Hopefully I said that right. He was the character. I was talking about him in Ice King, which we'll get to Ice King here in a little bit. Betty, Lemon Grab, and finally Kim Hwa. Hopefully I said that right. It's one of Jake's kids. We see him like in a couple episodes. He has one main one with Jake and all that. So anyways, down right to it. All of these characters are smart. They're smart in their own way. They're role-stricken, business-oriented, smart. It is weird having Simon and Betty in the same cabin even though they're lovers, but that's besides the point. Maybe they just didn't know. They're kissing siblings now. So, down right to it. Cabin 19, Athena. We always start off with this video either with Athena or Hephaestus, or it's somewhere in this video, but here it is, right here. Athena. They're all smart. They're all that. Literally, Betty becomes Bomb, which is God in this world. So, there's that. Okay, next up, another group. It's only a duo group. Marceline the Vampire Queen and Viola, another one of Jake's kids. So, real quick, I put them in the same cabin for different reasons, but kind of the same at the same time, sort of way. Marceline, I'm going with her more personality-wise. in what she does in the show versus her just being a vampire and being from the Atmosphere, which is their version of Vanderbilt. So could have put her in Hades, but I didn't. But what she is musicality. She's a rocker. She's punk rock. Music is a thing of Apollo. And also with Viola, she wants to be an actress, an actor, and acting and that kind of stuff, again, is another thing of Apollo. So for both of these characters, Kevin 7, Apollo. Also another thing, this would be very funny knowing that Bubblegum's Kevin 6 and Marceline is Kevin 7. So technically the Kevins are right next to each other, quote unquote. They're not supposed to be because it's supposed to be females on one side, males on the other, but you get my point. Okay. Another group, but here is the other part of Simon, aka the Ice King, and then with him is Gunter. Gunter is probably my favorite character in the whole show, by the way. So, I know what everyone's thinking. Ice King has ice powers. There is a goddess of ice, but she doesn't have a cabinet camp out. We're sticking to the 20. But both of these characters, I'm just gonna say, are crazy, are full of madness. We already know where I'm going with that just by saying that, which is Kevin 12 Dionysus. I get the reason why Ice King is crazy because of the crown on his head and all that stuff too, but still, he's crazy. And then Gunter is along with him. Like, I know Gunter is also like a space alien that's supposed to cause chaos, but got nerfed into a penguin or something, or it's like hidden forms of penguin. I have not seen the show in a long time, but they're both like very crazy, very wacky, very zany, and I think that's supposed to be the point, but still. Kevin 12 Dionysus for both of them. And yeah, Ice King and Simon were the two characters where, yes, they are the same character, but I wanted to sort them in different places like Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So there's that. Next up is the Lich. So right off the bat, I do have two places where I want to put him or it. Granted, you have to think again of what point in time are we thinking of the Lich? Are we thinking like the main construction of like destruction? I don't care. I want to rule the world, Lich. Or are we gonna just like say in general, like the Lich is magical because like he does get reincarnated as Sweetie Pie, so there's that. Truthfully and honestly, I don't even want to think about him getting reincarnated as a child, but I still have to put that out there to begin with. And like the witch does know magic, even though it's evil magic. So it's either for me gonna be Kevin 5 Aries because like the ruthlessness, like he doesn't care about life in general and just wants to take over the world and stuff like that, or Kevin 20 Hecate because like he is magic, he's the Lich. Anyways, I think either one could work out. Again, he does become Sweetie Pie, so magic and that. Alright, next up we have a group. We have BMO, we have Flame Princess, and we have Susan Strong. So, with BMO and with Susan, it's a similar vein of thing where they are loyal to their friends. They're the people that they care about. Yes, I know BMO is a little robot kid, and potentially Hebe could work too with him, but we're not doing that. They're both very loyal, both very fun. And then there's Flame Princess, where I know this is a cop-out so terribly. Elemental power, and she is fire. Hephaestus is the god of fire. There's that. And like later on, Flame Princess is loyal. She does care about Finn when they're dating, and like later she becomes the Flame King, where she like cares about her people and like wants to take care of them and stuff like that. So I'm thinking Kevin Knight and Hephaestus for all three, like whether it be the loyalty or literally a fire creature. There's that. That feels really rushed and forced, and I know, like, it's just a symbol of BMO. He has a giant heart, childish at times. Hebe could also work for that as well. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think. Okay, next up is the Cosmic Owl. Yes, we're sorting the Cosmic Owl, a cosmic deity. So the Cosmic Owl thing is to pretty much give you, how do I say this? Like dreams of the future. So prophecy dreams, in my opinion, is what I'm thinking of. There is a god of dreams, and there is a god of prophecy. Either or could work, per se. He is like a cosmic deity, and we finally like got his backstory in Fiona and Cake, knowing he had a brother and they betrayed and all that stuff. So, yeah, for the moment, like, he also gives, like, croak dreams, which are death dreams, like, it's how you're gonna die, and, like, if you see one, you're gonna die when you wake up, sort of thing. So it reminds me of, like, a Thanatos kind of vibe, per se, but Thanatos doesn't have a cabin here at the Camp Half-Blood, and I don't think it's, like, good to throw up Hades. Hades technically isn't the god of death, he's the god of the underworld and stuff like that. Like, death just comes to him. He controls it, like, that sort of thing. So I think that's different. So either Kevin 7 Apollo, because, like, the prophecies, like, of the dream, and then, like, Kevin 15 Hypno, because, like, he is the god of dreams and stuff. Put them together, it works. I don't know. Guys, I'm running on thin ice. I'm getting tired now already. I think we're only halfway through. Sorry if this is weird. Anyway. anyways, I just saw what our next character is, and I just realized what I just said with Cosmic Owl. The next character is Death. I know, technically, the god of death is Thanatos, because he travels the souls, guides the souls to the underworld. He doesn't have a camp pathway, but also in the show, we see Death ruling over the dead. So, kind of like a Hades thing, per se. So yeah, he is dead, per se. So Cabin 13 Hades. I know this is such a cop-out. I am so sorry for this, and I know, like, I literally just said, like, oh, he isn't the god of death, and blah 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 blah, and, like, he's the god of the underworld, but still, like, he commands the death, and I know, like, the death I have on screen dies, and the fox becomes death, and all that stuff, but also death and life, and stuff. Like, he controls, like, their version of the underworld. That's what he does. Oh god. Okay, next up is the character I fear the most for this whole sorting video, because I have like 5 places where I want to put him, and I don't know what to do. And that's Peppermint Butler. Let's just go through it. He's loyal to the princess, cares about her, loves her, blah blah blah. It's his mom, let's be honest here. Athena, because he is very, like, smart and knowledgeable, both before and after becomes a child again. Hades, because, like, he can command the spirits and, like, dark arts and stuff, and, like, that also goes in hand with Hecate, with magic, because he learn and do magic and, like, the dark arts and stuff, especially since, like, currently in the timeline, whether we're even talking about Adventure Time or even with the Fiona and Cake, we see him, like, at magic school, per se. And then Ares, because he can be very ruthless, especially if, like, any harm comes to, like, Princess Bubblegum, who he cares and loves about, and, like, is his mom, which is weird to say, per se, as well, and, like, that he can, like, fight dirty and stuff like that as well. This is very confusing, very weird. I fear this character for this one. I'm breaking my rule for this character because I don't know. I just don't. I need help in the comments below what you guys think. What cabin should this little peppermint guy go in? Help me out, guys, because I fear this character very much so. Any of these could work. Any of these. I'm breaking my own rule. Usually I'm only allowing myself to hold up 3. I'm holding up 4. Granted, it's supposed to be 5 because this is supposed to be double, both for Hades and for Hecate, both 13 and 20, which is on the card. Look, it's on the card. That's fun. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing it. What do I do? Dude, this is a mess. I broke my own rule because I am terrified and I just don't know what to do. Tell me in the comments below, guys. Really help me out here with him. There's, like, so much for this character, and I didn't have to, but they did. Okay, let's get out of that. Go back to either some single characters, or just characters in general that could go in 2 different places, so I don't have to hold up more than 2 cards. Anyways, next up is Fern. I have 2 places where I want to put him immediately. The obvious one, him being, like, a plant-like copy of Finn, but, like, having his own emotions and stuff, especially since, again, I know I said I wasn't talking about Fiona and Cake too much, but he's alive in Fiona and Cake. Fiona meets him and stuff, so, like, demeanor, it was plant-like, all that stuff. And then Ares, especially, like, when it comes to, like, when he was fighting Finn, like, he was being very ruthless, very aggressive, very everything in that fighting style, where, in my opinion, he's the, like, one that would fight down and dirty, while Finn is more of the clean fighter, per se. Granted, I didn't sort Finn and Athena, because I didn't want to, so there's that. I think either or could work, and I did not mean to do this with putting them right next to each other, 5 and 4. Cabins 4 and 5. I did not mean to do this. My bad. But, like, he is a plant creature of Finn, and, like, very ruthless and wanting to prove himself and stuff. 5. Like I said, he's the dirty fighter while Finn's the clean fighter, even though I did not sort Finn and Athena. Slowly but surely losing my mind. Yippee. Okay, I think it's our final group, per se, that being Lady Ranicorn and Tree Trunks. So, both of these characters are good, kind characters. They are very motherly, and they, like, care about their children, per se, and their loved ones, and everything else. But I'm not saying Hephaestus. for these because I need something different, but they're very motherly, family oriented, especially when they get kids per se. And there is a goddess of family and marriage and stuff like that, even though she is the worst in the myths and books and everything else. But Cabin 2, Hera, per se, I think their mothers, like, they're good all the time. Granted, also, Tree Trunks could have been also Hebe, because she acts very childish and stuff, but she's more motherly, especially, like, when we first meet her, like, with Finn and Jake, she's, like, very motherly, per se. And also, like, another thing with Lady Unicorn, potentially, Iris could work, because, like, she is a rainbow long unicorn, rainbow powers, stuff like that, so flight, that could also work, but I just wanted, like, good caring people, moms, sort of with the motherly instinct, so. I think we only have 3 more characters, thank gods. Next up is Huntress Wizard. Again, I know I'm not talking about Fiona Cake, but I really enjoyed season 2. Anyways, so Huntress Wizard, I'm already thinking of 2 places where I want to put her. Demeanor, because, like, plant life, and, like, she is, like, a green wizard, and that's, like, a nature, plant magic sort of way in nature. And then Artemis, because she is, like, the hunter. Her name's literally Huntress Wizard. Granted, also, like, Hecate could work with magic, but I'm leaning more towards that with Ymir because of they call it green magic, but it's like plant earthly magic sort of way that she mainly uses towards, like, the nature. And then, like, I think 110% Artemis would take her in, like, offer her, like, do you want to be a hunter for me? Like, would you want to join my group? And, like, if it's the Huntress Wizard that we know before Fiona and Cake, she would go no and then run off into the forest anyways. Maybe she would accept at the end of Fiona and Cake season 2. Maybe, but maybe not. She probably doesn't want to swear off of Finn, because she loves Finn, Finn loves her, blah, 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 blah. I think either or could work. I tried my hardest not to talk about Fiona and Cake throughout this whole thing, but I knew when I got to Huntress with her, I'm gonna have to talk about season 2 of Fiona and Cake, because I liked the back end of Fiona and Cake season 2. The first couple episodes felt like a slog, but besides that, I liked it. So either Cabin 8, Artemis, or Cabin 4, Demeanor, for Huntress Wizard. It works anywhere, like hunting, green magic with plant magic, like stuff like that, so there's that. Next up is Jake Jr., another one of Jake's kids, yeah. I'm literally thinking of 2 places to put them. Hermes, because, like, they are following their dad somewhat in their footsteps, like, being a thief, being that, because I remember clearly that episode where Fake's being kidnapped, so her dad, like, comes back into the thieving gang of it all, of stealing, to quote-unquote get her back, but, like, she isn't kidnapped, it's a ploy to get him back in the game, and blah, 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 like, that kind of, like, thieving, planning, and, like, she still is, like, in that gang, per se, you know, or just Dionysus, because they are a little crazy, a little kooky, they are, like, the first ones to, like, talk back to Jake and stuff like that as well. They're, like, madness. They literally, like I said, staged a kidnapping to get their dad back in the game of thievery and stuff. So, and, like, bad behavior, come back into crimes. That's a little crazy. That's a little madness. Again, I didn't mean to do this, but Cabin 11 Hermes for the thieving and stuff, or Cabin 12 Dionysus because of the crazy madness that Jake Jr. is and cures. So there's been a lot more Dionysus in this video. I think this is the most times I ever pulled, like, Dionysus for a character in, like, these types of videos. So that's fun. Dionysus is finally getting some love, per se, getting more children, per se, even though he's probably not happy about it. Okay, finally, we are our last character, which, of course, I love this character to be sorted as the last character. I didn't mean to do this on purpose, but it just happened, which is Lumpy Space Princess, or LSP. I literally just talked about me pulling Dionysus a lot for this video, and here we go again. So, Lumpy Space Princess, they are crazy. They're insane. They're full of madness, per se. Granted, it drives off of, oh, look at me, and I have Pamper, Popper, what else? Like, I just have so many memories of her, like, trying to get with Finn in the early episodes. Like, her trying to get with a 12-year-old. That's weird. I just have so many weird memories of that, of watching them show originally. And, like, her being so, like, weird and, like, predatory and stuff. Like, caring more about herself than, like, her friends or anything else. Like, I know, like, she gets carried like everyone else, like all the other characters and stuff. I don't know if it like sticks as hard or not to me or not, but it's still like she wants it to be about her. She wants it to be, she's like crazy mad and stuff. So do I think this goddess will physically claim her? No. Cabin 10 Aphrodite, because of like the wants and like needs of like being treated proper and like me, and trying to look beautiful and everything else. And then Cabin 12 Dionysus, because like crazy. Whenever a Lumpy Space Princess comes along, you'd never know what's gonna happen next, pretty much, per se, because of that crazy madness of the character. So yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anyone watching out there, that was our final character of our Adventure Time sorting video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If there was any characters that I did sort and you think they should have gone someplace else, especially the characters that didn't get enough of an answer, tell me in the comments below where you think they should go. Any characters that I didn't sort, because I know there was a buttload of characters in Adventure Time that I didn't sort, because I wanted to mainly go off of like the main ones, or that had like an impact on the show, or even for me, were the most easiest ones that I just need extra characters for, that wasn't difficult to figure out. Tell me in the comments below where you think they should go, per se. Come back next month to see me sort the characters from Fiona and Cake, strictly the show / those like 5-6 episodes from Adventure Time, per se. But like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, all that wonderful jazz. Last video right there, subscribe right beneath me. Playlists of all the sortings are right up there. Also be in the link description below to get Percy Jackson playlist. And I'll see you guys next time here on Rambling. Bye.